running around and saying, "Get out of the courthouse, get out of the courthouse."
The scene inside Atlanta's Fulton County Courthouse was chaotic and bloody. A man allegedly overpowered a courthouse deputy who was escorting him to his rape trial. He took the deputy's gun, then shot and killed the judge and court reporter.
The suspect is at large right now. He is identified as Brian Nichols.
Police launched a massive manhunt. As news spread, residents locked their doors and waited. At around 2 a.m. in northern Atlanta, Ashley Smith had just returned to her apartment after making a late-night run to a convenience store. It was then she noticed a suspicious-looking man sitting in his car. She felt uneasy, so she jumped out of her car and hurried to her apartment. She put the key in the lock, opened the door, and the stranger was right behind her.
I started to scream just at the top of my lungs, and he came up to me, shut up, and just point the gun at me. Just shut up, don't scream. If you don't scream, I won't hurt you. So I stopped screaming, and he pushed me in the house and shut the door and locked it. And I just knew that I wasn't gonna make it out of there. I knew I was gonna die. But I immediately said, "God, look, he can rape me. He can do whatever he wants to me. Just let me walk out of here alive."
Inside, he told Ashley he was Brian Nichols, the man police had been looking for.
He had already killed 3 people to my knowledge, and he wasn't gonna stop. I immediately started praying silently to God, just please get me out of here alive. I've been through so many things in my life. I will get through whatever happens to me. Just please do not let him kill me.
Nichols made her sit in the bathtub and left the room. He returned with a roll of tape.
When he came back with the tape, I was like, this is it. You know, he's just gonna strangle me with he had an extension cord too. He's gonna strangle with me with the extension cord, or he's gonna tape me up first, rape me, and then strangle me. That's it. I knew that if I wanted to make it out of there alive, that I better at least do what he says.
For Ashley, that meant overcoming years of addiction to meth. She had been getting help and had turned to God, but she couldn't make a clean break until now. He asked if you had any pot to smoke. Tell me about that. Tell me what happened.
He asked me if I had any. I said no, but I've got some ice. It was like God came in and said, okay, here's your choice. You can say no, and you can live on doing great things that I have planned for you. Or you can live this miserable, miserable life that you've been living. Immediately, I said no. That was the time for Ashley to wake up and to start living her life again instead of continuing to die slowly.
Nichols snorted the meth and untied Ashley. She started telling him about her life, her struggles, and her 5-year-old daughter. She also read to him from a book she had been reading called The Purpose-Driven Life by Pastor Rick Warren. Nichols seemed to relax as she talked. Then he asked Ashley what he should do.
For him to ask me, what do you think I should do? I wasn't gonna hold back. What do I think? Do you really want to know? Is what I thought to myself. Do you really want to know? Do you want to know? So I told him, I think you should turn yourself in. He said, I have a demon inside of me. So the whole spiritual warfare, I could get that. I could definitely see that he was being pulled one way or two different ways.
Then finally, after 7 hours, Nichols let Ashley go. She drove off in her car and called 911. 911, what's your emergency? When police arrived, Nichols turned himself in and would be sentenced to life for the murder of 4 people. For Ashley, her experience as a hostage helped her find freedom, because not only did she give up drugs, she committed her life fully to Jesus Christ. Later, Ashley learned she was never alone on this journey. The women in this prayer group had been praying for her for 6 years, including her Aunt Kim.
We were asking God to free her. I mean, that was just our heart's cry, that we wanted her free from this, that we wanted her to see how much God loved her. And I think we were just crying out for the freedom of this addiction and for her to see God.
We would ask God to show off.
Right.
I mean, those are direct quotes sometimes in our prayer. Be big, show off. You know, show your power, show your glory.
And that he would do something that would get her attention. And he did.
In time, Ashley put her life back together. She's learned that when she prays, God is with her and always will be.
My future is so much brighter now because I have a personal relationship with Jesus. And that makes it, that makes my world and my future so much brighter.